Of the films you've seen at the festival so far, any surprises, anything you've really, really liked?
Um, I liked of the films I saw. I think Once We Were Warriors or Once Were Warriors. That that was an interesting film. Touched me. Went home. And there was another film called Fun, which was quite disturbing for a few others, but I liked it. And of course, Quentin Tarantino seems to be the um, topic of the day, but he is good. He's got a tremendous narrative style. What William Goldman or somebody did in books, he has done it on films. But it's quite interesting to watch. Very clever film craftsman he is. And there have been some very good films. For example, the Browning version had some very good moments in it, especially Albert Finney performance. Quite a few, yes. Of course, Shadowlands, which I consider to be Mr. Attenborough's best. It was not just managing a huge star cast. It was just 3 or 4 people, and you work with their emotions, and it touched you. A tearjerker, yes. One has to see the film with a lot of napkins.
In Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction, could you see yourself doing any of the roles, and if so, which one?
Probably because I also write, I could, and also I'm an avaricious actor, I could do any one of the roles. And all roles are very interesting in that film. You find some of the top stars playing the roles, though they get knocked off in between. The black man's role is quite interesting from the point of view of the man who's trying to play good in spite of his peer pressure.
Right.
And that many roles are good. Even small appearances are very interesting. It's a podium for an actor. It's set up in such a way. It's not a very large format. The spectrum is narrowed down to human behavioral things. So it's quite interesting. I would like to play any one of those protagonists.
What did you think of John Travolta's dance? Do you think it was a hark back to Saturday Night Fever?
No, actually, I think it was. It's a what you might call it. They're smirking back at times. I mean, that's what I felt like. Like people were dissatisfied. They said they promised us something. Travolta on stage, and he was just twisting around. I think that's exactly what Mr. Tarantino's idea was, to promise you something and do something else. I mean, suddenly frighten you, suddenly make you smile at the most unexpected moment. He promises to tell a joke, then tells it about few scenes later. He doesn't even give you the narrative. Very much like Godard's belief that a film should have a beginning, middle, and an end, but not necessarily in the same order. So that's been followed as a rule in the film.
What did you think of the violence in the films you've seen? Quite a few have had a lot of violence.
People keep complaining about violence, but it's become part of life for nearly, in a civilized world, for nearly 10,000 years we've been doing only that since the time we walked into that. We keep complaining about it, and it's there in society. You see a television film, you see a cartoon, you see news, you see violence. You see the Serbs or Bosnia, or just some LTT bomb going off, some premiere shattered to bits. It's there all around. So cinema is reflecting, picks its storyline from news items. So naturally that's being reflected in films, and I wouldn't advocate this thing, but it's there in the world. And what Mr. Quentin's film is showing is the truth in America. It may not seem right for us. As a matter of fact, some of our films camouflage the truth. That's why some of them don't even hit home and they hit the target.
So you played men of violence, you played men of romance, you played men of practically every emotion. Which roles do you really feel close to? There must be very many. But
No, it's a cliche answer for an actor to say, but that's the truth. You can't say anything else if you want to be honest. It's always the previous one. Then you choose among the best scene. Nayakan was an interesting one. Sagar Sangamam was a good piece of meat for an actor. And even Sati Leelavati, according to me, I like what I did. That's why I did it at all. And there are right now we are working on a script. I am quite excited about it. I only hope the audience will be equally excited about it. But when you see on the larger format, I only see my performance was full of holes. So I wouldn't like to exactly point it out to my customers as to where I made my mistakes. But that's how I feel. I mean, it wears out on me after some time. I'm very unfaithful to my previous roles, and probably that's what keeps me in the business. I don't know. Nayakan, you can't complain about a role like Nayakan. It's every actor should be happy to do it. Red Rose was quite interesting. Guna was quite interesting for me because you really can freak out. I think playing a madman is it's a picnic for an actor if he really enjoys doing that kind of work.
you don't mention any Hindi films. You did quite a few.
Yes, but see, Sagar, yes, but Ek Duje Ke Liye is the director's film, where he cleverly crafted a film for an actor. He has shown the audience what all it's done with love for an actor, but it's not where an actor excelled or did wonderful work. Then there's Sadma, which is actually a remake of a Munrampurai, and Sagar is there, but nothing as solid as Nayakan, or I'm yet to do it. Pushpak was very interesting, but then it doesn't have a language. I can't call it a Hindi film. It was it's a language-free film. You can't possibly call it a Hindi film also.
Do you feel a film like Bandit Queen could have been shown at a festival, or
Yes.
some effort should have been made?
Yes, there should have been an effort. I don't know why that we're very, very considerate to bandits and less considerate to filmmakers. There are certain films which I saw that which have absolutely no perspective about India, no point of view. The spectrum is very narrow, and they make a film, they make statements through the film. I could even say that I was quite disturbed in a film called Praying in Anger. I think it's made in USA. It's an NRI film, I don't know. It makes such certain gross statements about India, about communities. It's mumbled in the backtrack, but you can hear it very clearly. When those things could be allowed, I mean, not that it's going to kick up a riot and people are going to throw bombs at each other, but it's bad enough. It's in bad taste, even though it comes in the background as atmosphere sound. I'm quite disturbed by that. Rather than that, it's the truth about India. It's the truth about a woman's situation, at least in India, and most of it is true. What Mr. Shekhar Kapur has said, most of it is true. He has taken the artistic license, and he has not harmed, according to me, the woman's, the rest of the woman's life anyway. It's a point of view. I mean, Mrs. Phoolan will feel something else towards it altogether. But I'm talking not about personalities. Now I'm talking about a filmmaker. And I was very proud when I saw the film. And I don't understand the red tape, so let me not go further into it. I don't know what it is that can hurt.
Do you feel there's red tape at festivals and there should be
Red tape is everywhere. You want to get into a bus, there is red tape. you want to get out of it, there is red tape. It's how it doesn't affect certain people, but it does. It depends on what strata of life you're in. It's a pity. I would have liked to see. Not that I would do a morcha for Bandit Queen, but I would love to see that film here. And it's making waves in the international scene. And why shouldn't we be proud and share the moment with another friend?
Thank you.
Thank you.